So here's the pop quiz. Jeff Deal kindly suggested that we drop this so that we can save some time and talk issues, but unfortunately you've been overruled by our producer. The first Republican governor of Massachusetts was Nathaniel Prentice Banks, who took office in 1858. In terms of years, not the number of terms, who has spent the most time in the corner office as a Republican? Is it Francis Sargent? Is it Bill Weld? Or is it Charlie Baker?
Most years? I'm just going to... By the way, wasn't Andros our first governor? Anyway, I'm going to go with A, Sargent. I'm not sure.
Okay, it's Charlie Baker. He'll be the first Republican in Massachusetts to serve 8 years as governor. Years. Okay. Here's a true or false one, so it's going to be a little bit easier. Andrew Square in South Boston, as you just mentioned, is named after John Andrew, the Republican governor of Massachusetts during the Civil War. True or false? Is
Andrew Square.
Right. Was it named after John Andrew? True
okay,
or false?
flip a coin on this one. I'm going to say true.
It is true. He was an abolitionist. He was a guiding force behind the creation of the Massachusetts 54th, the famous African-American regiment that fought in the Civil War. Number 3.
My district, by the way, great abolitionist stories I can tell you another time.
Whitman, yeah.
Whitman, Abington area.
Right. The Massachusetts Constitution allows for another title for the chief executive. So if you win, what else would they call you? Would they call you His Honor, His Excellency, or His Lordship?
They're going to call me a lot of things when I become governor, but I'm going to say, is it Excellency?
You are correct. His Excellency, gender neutral, clearly not in play when the state constitution was adopted in 1780. And finally, the town of Hancock in western Massachusetts is named after the state's first elected governor, who was John Hancock. Before the Revolution, a ship owned by Hancock, the Liberty, became caught up in a controversy involving a British warship. Your question, true or false? The British ship carried the name of the future Massachusetts governor, Romney. True or false?
I'm going to say true because it can't be. This is so obscure, it's got to be true.
You're absolutely right. It was named after the first Earl of Romney.
Love that.
I'm not even sure that Mitt Romney knows that. We'll have to ask him the next time we see him.
By the way, Tip O'Neill had a right-hand man named Leo Deal who served with him in the legislature before. Yes. I'm not related to Leo, but it's funny. There is that little last name thing that people ask me if I'm related. I'm not.
Okay, then we've clarified that.
All right, we're going to move on. So you've been working hard not only on your own campaign, but also on a ballot question, one that would, of course, stop undocumented residents from getting driver's licenses. Is this your number one issue to get independents on board with your campaign?
No, I think the economy right now is going to be the number one issue. The Biden economy is really poor right now. We've got high inflation, high cost of fuel, obviously high cost of food. So I think that's going to be front and center. In fact, some polling from Emerson today shows that I'm leading Maura Healey on the issues of the economy, which is their top line issue. But when it comes to the driver's licenses for people here illegally,
this is a major issue.
It is a major issue. And, Governor Baker did veto that. It was overridden by the legislature, I think in part because there's an issue with potential voter fraud. And there's also an issue with the RMV being the one to process the out-of-state, out-of-country documents that would give somebody an ID that may or may not prove that exactly who they are. We had a problem with Massachusetts licenses a couple of years ago where we had to switch to Real ID because of the ability to verify that people who we were.
But the RMV can check visas, green cards. They can check that, and they do now.
They can, but they also were supposed to process out-of-state violations. There was 80 bankers boxes full of out-of-state violations. Somebody in New Hampshire driving a Massachusetts driver should have had his license pulled, killed 7 Marines because he was driving with a license he should have had been pulled. The RMV failed to do that. In Brockton, 2,000 licenses were issued without any test. There is problems with fraud at that level. We've got to make sure that people are who they say they are, and so that's one of the issues I have.
Issues are important, but money perhaps is even more important in winning elections. And you started this campaign on Wednesday with about $16,000 in the bank account. At least that's when I last checked. Maura Healey has nearly $5 million. Have you asked Donald Trump to help you in this general election? Will he help you with either trying to fundraise or to campaign for you here in Massachusetts?
I have not talked to him about fundraising at all.
Will you ask him?
I don't think we're going to be talking to him about fundraising. I think what we also, first of all, I've never taken special interest money in this campaign. She's been in office, Maura Healey, for 8 years. Been able to compile that war chest.
So you can do this without Donald Trump?
I raised $1 million in this campaign already. We've spent it all, but we've actually are already raising significant amounts since Tuesday's election. So
can you match it with that $5 million, you think?
You know what? I think we'll be able to get our message out there effectively, and we'll do what it takes.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us here on OTR.